This is Rusty Byrd, and welcome to the Forest Park High School Football Show with Coach John Robinette, head coach of the Forest Park High School football team. Welcome to our show, Coach.
Welcome. Appreciate you having me, man. Enjoying it. Been a while, Rusty. How you been?
I'm doing well, doing very
Good.
well. The last episode, I interviewed a couple of your seniors, but now we're going to go back and recap kind of what happened in your last three games. But since we last spoke, I don't know if we talked about Freedom specifically, but you did beat Freedom 63-0. And
Yeah.
then you two very tough games, but that is Woodbridge 24-15, and then you all lost a close one to Garfield 23-21. Coach, anything you want to say about those last three games?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough losing both those games, and we had opportunities to win them both. You know, in the Woodbridge game, they played some solid defense when they needed it, and I didn't call a great game there for sure against Woodbridge, and they capitalized when they had the opportunity. We didn't. You know, when you play tight games and when you're evenly matched, every game comes down to a couple different plays, and they made a couple more plays than we did, and that it's unfortunate for us. It stung, but yeah, you make your bed, you live in it, and then against Garfield, another back and forth kind of game. We had some opportunities late to win it. We didn't convert. And, at the same time, they made a couple big plays late. There was I don't know if you've seen it, but they have a kid who made a catch that is just phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
One-handed, and how he kept his balance. Really, really good ball player. And they had a great game plan against us. And again, we gave ourselves a chance to win. We just didn't make the plays when we needed to. And then it was nice to see us rebound against Colgan.
There you go.
But,
That's what I was going to say next. But you rebounded. Yeah.
it's interesting. I watched the kids give their interview to you, and it was it was at a tough time. We'd had a big loss, and it just was heartening to hear them talk about some of the things they're taking from our program. That I get it. My record matters, and how many games we win and how many games we lose is a direct reflection on how we're doing things, and I understand that. But at the same time, it's great to see that some of the bigger picture stuff they're pulling from is
Yeah.
lifelong friendships, and just they're enjoying it. Even as bad as it was, they're still heads were up, and to be completely honest, they helped me keep up, like with their attitudes, because I was struggling a little bit there. So I have so much appreciation for the senior class. It was kind of fun to watch it. And then, against Colgan, we put it together. We got back, and Landon Hunt had a big day. We ran the ball well. He went for over 250, 6 touchdowns.
Not know his final rushing statistics. So I knew that he got in the end zone 9 times, and he scored
Yeah.
6 touchdowns officially. But I was saying I thought he was close to 200. So he hit 250.
Yeah, he went for 250, 27 carries for 253, and 6 touchdowns. And we went into that week saying we were going to feed him the ball and let the chips fall where they may. And then
Yeah.
actually our defense, we gave up 28 points, which is never great. But our defense, as odd as it may sound, played really well. In the first half, they had two explosive plays, which are a problem. But other than that, we kept them in pretty good check, and they scored late on us, and that's okay. Against some of the guys that hadn't played much, and that's all right too. So pretty happy with it. It was senior night. We had a big win. All our seniors got to play. Everyone came off the field. We needed some laughs, some positive. We needed some smiles around our program, and it was nice to get that done. Set us up for this final game of the regular season.
Yeah. I was there. I was in the stands, and I was with Landon's parents, and there was the one play I was sitting with Nathaniel's parents, Darren, right? And I was sitting with this whole group. My wife was there, and I think it was maybe Landon's last touchdown. But I said, you know what? The play would work right here. Whatever, I can't remember. I said they need to run this, and this, and the second he got the ball and he broke through, I jumped up and I was screaming. I called that play. And Corey, Landon's dad kept saying, no, but I called. He kept saying, I called. I said, no, but I called it. And I was like, I said, I said, Coach Rob, that was the perfect play to call. And he's running. And it was so much fun at that game.
Uh,
But if, you called a great game. I got to give you
Thanks.
two
Well,
for
it was
offense.
that play especially was extremely rewarding from a coaching perspective because it's how you drew it up. You know, like when you put these X's and O's in the lines and say,
Yeah.
this guy gets this guy gets this guy. Like we covered everybody up and moved them, and guys stuck and stay on their blocks, and he got a crease, and then Landon stuck it on his fifth step, and boom, he was out the gate. And it just was one of those like, man, it's great to see it all happen on the field, and
Yeah.
it was good to see him finish the run. And one of the knocks that he's heard, which is complete junk, is that he doesn't finish, but that's all he's done is finish this year. I mean,
Oh,
every time
yeah.
chance to get in the open field, he has just been a wrecking ball, and then later just outrun people that,
Yeah.
according to other people, can't outrun people. But all I've done is see him outrun everybody.
No run people. Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm excited. It just was a lot of fun seeing that all come together.
Yeah.
So,
I was saying, and I said, I don't know how many yards he has because plays were called back, not just touchdowns, but some other longer runs. I was like, said he's got to get a long run. I said just to put the yards with the touchdowns. I think
yeah,
at that point he had 5 touchdowns on probably like 50 yards. I said
yeah,
it's a long run.
yeah,
And he broke through, and I was screaming. But to know I knew he had over 100. And just doing basic math, I was like, he's got over 150 yards, but I don't know. But
yeah. But he
that,
went, and it was nice to see. He also in that game got over 1,000 again for the year,
yes,
and
he
that's
got over
the
1,000. Yes.
second year in a row he's gotten over 1,000. And since I've been the head coach, that's the fifth out of 6 year we've had 1,000-yard rusher.
1,000-yard rusher. Yeah. You had one
So,
last year, right?
well, Landon did it for 2 years. Then
I mean, I'm sorry, 3 years.
my man
Yeah,
JoJo did it the year before, and then
yes.
DPJ Daniel Peters John was the other one who got 1,000. So that's fulfilling. It's nice to see him have success, and those guys up front take some pride in that we've had that
Absolutely.
our streak of that. It's been good. I've enjoyed it.
Really good. Yeah. So so if he got 250, what is that? What does Landon have overall for the because I haven't
He's
seen
close
it
to
in the
13.
okay.
He was at 12 something because he was at 960 before the game,
960.
960,
Yep.
960 something. I don't know the exact number, but I know Brooke, our announcer, he had the number, and he made a big announcement after he broke one in the first half for like 30 yards. And he says, yeah, now Landon Hunt's just gotten over
Over
1,000
yeah, I heard what he said over
yards.
1,000. Yeah, yeah.
And I got to tell you, he does a phenomenal job. Brooke Heaton is kind of a guy behind the scenes who works really hard for us to make sure the environment and the announcements are really humming. And I don't know if you got there early for senior night, but we don't. Normally, typically the announcer says, "Hey, this is Rusty Byrd. He's a senior. He's being escorted by, and he's got his future plans are." Well, what he does, he comes in and he records the kids.
Oh
And
no,
so,
I missed that.
yeah, so when they walk with their parents, it's their voice saying,
Oh, that is cool.
"Hey, I'm Landon Hunt. I'm a 12th grader. I wear number 8." And it's just one of those touches that a lot of people put in a lot of extra time, and he's not charging. He's doing it for free. And,
Mm-hmm.
you're in this world where you got to mix and edit and all that stuff, and there's some hours involved, and I appreciate him so much, and just all the people involved in our program, the parents who help us out with our meals and making senior day special. Nathaniel Wright mom had a whole crew of ladies out there hanging banners and making sure we had a good meal for their sending those guys off. So it's been phenomenal, the support that we get, and I know I get I'm in front of it, but there's a whole lot of people besides me who make this thing work.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving those folks a shout out too, because you're right. It's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and so that's good stuff. And now you all did that at your next to last home game. You still have your last game is also at home, so you did the senior night
Yeah, it's
before
a homecoming this week.
homecoming. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
heard. Right.
And what it was is they didn't want to do, our admin did not want to do homecoming when we had a Thursday night game because we
That's
played that
okay.
Thursday night. They wanted to do on a Friday night game. And then October, just kind of the way our schedule worked out in October, we were on the road just about the whole of October. Our only other
Yeah, yeah.
against Freedom back in the October like 4th. And completely fair. Last May, no one was sure what the status with Freedom's team was going to be. So we didn't want to
Right.
run the risk of
Yeah.
possibly having a cancel season and then or a canceled game that week. So this week is homecoming. So they kind of flipped it.
Okay.
And so it'll be fun. We're gonna have, another thing that's kind of been a tradition of ours is we get homecoming jerseys. We've been doing that for about,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's a big like nobody the kids come in April, last April, part of our off-season program. If you make it, if your attendance is good, your grades are good, you've done your community service, you get to be part of the design committee to this
Oh, wow.
homecoming jersey. And only about 10 kids know what the homecoming jersey looks like. So it's kind of a tradition on here is when we go to our team meal, like, okay, what do we get? What do they, they get their name on the back and the kids take them
Yep.
home. It's pretty cool. And it's a neat tradition we got here.
Oh, I love it. Like, what
And
was it, 2 or 3 years ago? You had like a lime.
that was the first year we did it was the COVID year. And yeah, it's funny because the BSN guy who we go through, so I'm there with a group of seniors and they wanted to look like the Seahawks color rush, like the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
neon green. And he's
Yep.
got it up there, and on the screen it looks like it's neon green. He goes, "Hey, look, listen, guys, this comes out more yellow than green." But they're
Hmm.
like, "Nah, man, this is us. We love this." And he's like, "It's gonna be yellow." And he kind of looked at me like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Well, a promise is a promise. I told the kids they get to design them." So when they came in yellow, I got a little bit of heat for that one with my admin. It wasn't school colors because it was every bit of yellow. But
I
it's
like
you
it.
live and
I knew
learn.
what you were doing. Yeah. Yeah.
So now there are some parameters with the design team, like it's got to be within school,
Okay.
something in the school. So and this past week we were able to wear we got some
All
black jerseys
black jersey. Yeah. Yeah.
and we switched our logo on our helmet, which was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Kids like
All right.
that. So we got a big black bear head now. It's it. So we
Yes, I
got a
like that.
lot of things in place, a lot of things going well for us, and it's so it was fun. So I'm looking forward to this week. Getting it
Hey,
in,
tell us about Hylton.
Hilton's, they're having some rough times now. Van Acker's doing a good job. He's trying to rebuild that program, trying to get the numbers back up and get interest in it. And they've had some struggles, but they've won a couple, and we got to be prepared and ready to play them and play play well. And we're looking forward to it. It's our last guaranteed game. We've got pretty small chance of getting in the playoffs still. I'm not gonna hope, but I haven't lost hope, but I'm not. I'm realistic about what we got, and what we're talking to the kids now. I say, let's be in the moment now. Let's enjoy what we're doing
Yeah.
right now. And the nature of high school football is unique. Even kids who go on and play college football, it's different. It becomes more business like. Um, some guys will never wear pads again. This will be the last time they do it. And then just that unique experience of sharing it with each other. And it's a balance. We're not trying to get, mushy and everybody crying all the time. But we're also want to recognize that, hey, this is the last time this particular team is going to be
Exactly.
together. And we had a pretty long talk yesterday about, hey, let's be where our feet are. Let's enjoy and recognize those moments because I know as an adult and as someone who was an athlete, and you almost always are looking at what's next. And when I look back at it, I think, man, I wish I would have stayed in that moment a little bit longer, or a little more focused on what it was then. So I try to emphasize that with the kids that let's enjoy this
Good.
moment. And if Sunday something, all the 1,000 different variables shake out in our favor, cool. Let's play Monday and reload. But if it doesn't, this is the bed we've made. Let's not let's not lament on what we can't change. Let's enjoy what we have together right now.
Yeah. And that's good. That's kind of the thing I talk when I talk to the seniors that I had on the show, not just on camera, but off camera. You know, it's hard with young people sometimes to explain. Like, I remember just talking to some of the guys right after the first game. I'm like, guys, it's season's gonna fly by. Like it
Yeah.
takes, you know, and I said this one to the guys, a few of the guys, I said, football is weird because it feels like it takes so long. Like you may be doing spring practices or you're lifting in January or you're doing some 7-on-7, and then the summer just seems to take forever to get to the first practice. And then, okay, but when is that first time we're going to put on pads? And then the next thing you're looking forward to is we're going to hit somebody else, and like, well, no, first you hit each other. You might have like a blue-green game, and then you'll have that first scrimmage, and you're like, can't wait to see it. But well, you don't play it the regular way. They're like doing 10 plays, it plays. Then you have like a real scrimmage, and it's just like, when is that first game ever gonna get here? And then it
Yeah, and
flies
then
by.
it's
Exactly.
then you're in
Like
week 10. Yeah.
then you're in week 10. Exactly. Yeah. But it's the same with college football. Like I
Yeah.
cannot wait for it. And now I'm going, wait a minute. Like, because at first you're going, well, they're not playing in the conference yet, and these teams are
Yeah.
blowing these teams out. You really don't know what you have, or all SEC teams are undefeated or whatever.
Yeah.
But then before you know, you're like, oh snap, it's only a few games left.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's a hurry up and wait kind of thing, and then what is it? Days are long, years are fast, kind of feeling that it just seems like it in the moment it seems forever, but when you look back, you're like, geez, we're at game 10. So
Yeah, and then you go, geez, I last played 30 years ago.
yeah, yeah, that definitely does that. I got a chance actually during the bye week. I got a chance to meet up with my college buddies. We all went down. I went to Virginia Tech, and we all went down to the game. It just worked out
Which
that we
one?
the Georgia Tech game.
Oh, Georgia. Okay, okay.
And I was fortunate enough. I got lucky. I got to be on the field for Enter Sandman.
Oh,
And that
sweet.
was a cool experience to be down on the field as those guys were coming out. So it was cool. But that kind of, oh my God, I can't believe we were here 30 years ago. Like it was such a long time ago. But it seems like it was just the other day where I'm
No, I
graduating
know.
college.
Yep, yep. I
Works.
mean, I think back, my brother was there when you were there, but you go, like, if when again you go 30 years before, like if we were there, we even thought like Don Strock was old and
Yeah.
like,
You remember going out or you're such in that environment where everyone is 18 to 22 years old. And I just remember seeing someone who was like 25 or 26. They were graduates. Like, man, you're old. What are you doing
you're
here?
old. Oh my God, yeah. Bro, like I remember at that time, Bruce Smith was in the league. And I
Mhm.
felt like, oh, Bruce Smith played so long ago. And
Yeah.
Bruce Smith is only like 6 years older than me. But
Yeah. It's just such a weird deal when you're in that environment. So,
yeah,
but it
yeah,
was a lot of
yeah,
fun. We had a good time, and it was good to catch up.
yeah.
Uh,
I'll be at the UVA game
yeah.
at Tech this year. So I'm looking forward to that. My brother, he tries to go to a couple of games every year, so that's the one I'll go to this year. But yeah, again, I think this has been a good season. And the reason I say that because again, it's going to end at some point for everybody. But how did you grow as an individual? What did you learn? That the team that you were part of, the friends, the stories, and that's what I was telling the guys. Just like the experiences that you're going through, and those are the things you'll value. And not just for those athletes, but also for the coaches and the parents. Being there and enjoying it. Like I've enjoyed being in the stands, being a part of the year. So just having that rooting interest for what you guys have had going on. So I really appreciate you let me kind of behind the scenes and being there because I think you're one of the good guys in this game. You're doing it the right way, and your kids too. I mean, you've got a really good group of young athletes. So thank you, Coach.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for thinking of us and giving me this opportunity to hang out with you some more. It's been fun and enjoying it. And I've been lucky. I got a lot of really good people around me that make me look good, and people are willing to give a lot of time because I ask a lot of time, but I think it's part of the deal and creating a program. But we try to do it the right way. I don't know. Everyone does a little bit different. This is what's worked for us, and disappointing on the field that we didn't get some of the wins we wanted, but I think everyone's going to look back and have a positive experience about it. In the end, that's kind of what it's about. We'll see what happens next, and hopefully, we can get a win against Hylton, and then maybe everything crumbles the right way for us. You never know.
Yeah.
It doesn't define us as people as a season. Like I said, from the very beginning, we talked about how doing difficult things together creates a great environment. And, like I said earlier, those kids have been just awesome and just great senior class.
Yep, they sure have. Well, thanks again, Coach Robinette. Looking forward to this last game against last week you did the 234 rivalry, and then this week it's Spriggs Road. So.
Yeah. It's East End for sure. Let's see if we can't own Spriggs Road.
Yeah, who's going to own Spriggs? All right. Well, thanks again, Coach. So I'm Rusty Byrd. That's Coach Robinette. Give it to him, Coach.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. All right.